Hello, everyone, and welcome to my A2 Pre-Intermediate English course. In this module, you will learn present perfect versus past simple and when to use which one. At the end, you will get to practice what you just learned with a few sample exercises. Let's get started. Okay, we'll look at this table quickly. I'll go over the main meaning. So for present perfect, we don't say when something happened. Um, I mean, it's relevant that this happened. We know it happened, but not the time. So we have, I've finished my essay, but we don't know when. We also mention a past experience or recent event for present perfect. We don't say when though. For example, she has won 2 gold medals. And it's also for an unfinished time. For example, he has lived in Japan for years. So this means he still lives in Japan. So, and then past simple, this is when we say or ask when something happened. So we have I finished my essay versus when did you finish your essay? And then he left after the game. So for past simple, here we're saying when this happened. He left after the game. Or I didn't go to work yesterday. Also, in past simple, we ask about or give the details. So where it says she has won 2 gold medals. She has won 2 gold medals. She got the first medal in Tokyo and the second. So yes, that's giving details. And then past simple is for a finished time or action. So we have he lived in Japan for years. That means that's in the past. He no longer lives in Japan. So, all right. Okay, so let's talk about past events or experiences. So, for present perfect, generally, it's not important when something happened. So, we use the present perfect to talk about recent events or about people's experiences when the time when these events happen, it's not important and we don't mention it. So, for example, I have been to Malaysia. So, we know this is an experience. We have this experience now, but when is not important. So, all right. And then she has won 3 gold medals. So this experience happened repeatedly, but we don't know when. It's unknown. And then I've broken my wrist twice. Okay, so it happened 2 times, 2 different times, but this doesn't say when. All right. Okay. And for past simple, this is when we say or ask when something happened. So we use the past simple to talk about completed actions in the past. So we often state specific times when these actions happen. For example, um, you'll see which is correct and which isn't. We have been to Malaysia last year, and then we went to Malaysia last year. So we cannot use present perfect when we mention a specific time. All right, and then she won 3 gold medals at the last Olympic Games. Okay, so we're saying when this happened using past simple, one, and then asking for details. When did you break your arm? All right, excellent. Okay, In conversation here, so we often start a conversation about recent events or people's experiences using the present perfect. But if we continue talking or asking about the details of that event, we use the past simple. Okay, so notice this conversation here. So, John, I've been to the cinema. Patrick, what did you see? This is past simple. And then John, I saw a very good film by, so whoever the film is by. And then this one, conversation, Sarah, oh, you've broken your arm. Rachel says, yes, I have. And then Sarah, how did it happen? Okay, and then details, Rachel says, it happened yesterday while I was riding my bike. I do judo and I've won some competitions. In fact, I have won 2 medals. I got the first one in Singapore in 2002. The second one was different. It was in Tokyo, and I was older. So these are all saying specific times in places. So that's why we're using past simple here. Okay, okay, let's talk about duration with how long, for, and since. So we use the present perfect with how long, for, and since to talk about actions or situations that started in the past and still continue or are still true now. We use the past simple with how long, for, or since to talk about actions or situations that started and finished in the past. So let's compare these. So he has lived in New York for 10 years. So this means it's still true. He lives in New York now. And then this one, he lived in New York for 10 years. So this is already finished. He no longer lives in New York. And then a question, how long have you worked in the bank? So this means you still work in the bank. And then how long did you work in the bank? Past simple. So this is in the past, right? Past simple. This means you do not work in the bank now. All right, well, let's go on to a few sample exercises and test our knowledge. Okay, so for exercise 1, from these drop-down menus, we'll choose which one is correct, present perfect or past simple. All right, um, these are people talking. So person A, so we have seen or saw Peter last night. Okay, so, all right, since it's saying a specific time, we want what? The second one, saw? Yes, that's it. And then B, oh, really? I didn't see or haven't seen him since last summer. Is he okay? Okay, using since. Um, and this is still true. Which would you use? So if you chose haven't seen, that would be correct, present perfect. Okay, number 3. Say, so we got this film before. So have you seen or did you see? Okay, so remember when we talked about present perfect, we've also used the word before. So if you chose the first one, have you seen? That is correct. And B, yes, actually I have seen or saw it last night. Okay, so which would you choose? Okay, if you chose saw, that would be correct. All right, let's try this one. What did you do or have you done last weekend? Okay, so asking about details, a specific time. So if you chose did you do, the top, that is correct. Okay, I at home all weekend. Have stayed or stayed. All right. Again, we're just mentioning a time, the weekend. So if you chose stayed, that is correct. All right. Excellent. So let's look at exercise 2, multiple choice here. All right. Number 1, have you called? Did you call? Or do you call John yet? Okay. So remember with yet, which tense? So if you chose A, have you called? That is correct. So number 2, Emily's not here. She has gone, has been, or has went to the shops. Okay, that means the correct tense here, or the correct form. If you chose A, she has gone, that would be correct. That's means she's not here. All right. 3, where's Tom? He went just out, he's just gone out, or he did just go out. Okay, so, all right. So if you chose option B, has just gone out, you're correct. That means he's not here. All right, one more here. So he's lived, lives, or lived in London for 3 years, and now he lives in Dublin. Okay, so sounds like it's an action that is already completed, no longer true. So, so if you chose option C, lived, that is correct. It would be past simple. Okay, let's see what exercise 3 looks like. Okay, so a few of these, we're just going to type in the correct form with these verbs given in parentheses. Okay, so we have Peter saying, we've got you, ever, and be to England. So using present perfect, right? So have you, oops, ever been? All right, excellent. Okay, and then Laura, we've got never and be to England. So got that first part, but I'd like to go someday. So this is negative for an experience. She hasn't had this. So it would be, um, oops, an apostrophe. I've never been. All right. And you? So we've got you ever and travel to England. So it's be the same thing. Have you ever traveled? So that would be it. And then Peter, yes, we got the verb be there 4 times. All right. So we want to use present perfect, right? So you can use the contraction. Oops. um, been. Okay, there 4 times. Got 2 apostrophes. There we go. In fact, I got travel to many English-speaking countries. Okay, so this is giving details, so we're going to use past simple this time. Oops. Okay, one L here. All right. So that's good. We've got that. So sometimes it might be hard to tell when you're trying to determine in a conversation when to use present perfect or past simple. You have to kind of look at what's around it, specific times, if they're talked about or not. So you did an excellent job in these exercises. All right, well, I can help you learn to speak English with more confidence. I'm TESOL certified. I teach native U.S. English. I'm experienced in online tutoring, and I work with all learning levels and most age groups. So, whether you need help with grammar, speaking, vocabulary, or writing, or any other area, you've come to the right place. Well, thank you for watching my video and happy learning.